Hello, friends. Welcome in. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you live from the Lee Company studio in Columbia. This is a fun day because it's Wednesday and it's hump day, and we're headed to the end of the week of the first major college football weekend.
I thought you were channeling your inner Jim Nance there for just a second with the Hello Friends opening. Didn't know exactly where you were going.
I just assume that anybody watching this show is our friend.
You know what happens when you assume, right?
It's funny because, most of the shows who have the largest viewership, the vast majority of the listeners are
haters,
likely enemies. So yeah, I don't know. You may be right. Maybe I need to work on that. But yeah, it's a fantastic day. What a week it's been. We've gotten a little bit better. It's gotten a little bit better weather, which I think has been well received. Hopefully it continues as we continue.
I think it's supposed to.
It is. Saturday is going to be pretty hot, like 95 again. But throughout the rest of the week and Friday night particularly, and I guess Thursday night in your case,
yeah,
should be pretty nice out. So it's going to be a good weekend, and we are looking forward to bringing you tomorrow's Prep Thursday show, where we have Coach's Corner, of course, and we really dive into the high school sports and all of the storylines that are kind of making their way around Middle Tennessee. We'll also talk some Braves, of course, as we do every day. And we'll do that today as well. Just tomorrow we'll do it with our friend Grant McCauley. Today he's a little busy. It's Wednesday, which means he's opening up foil wrapper baseball cards, and he's probably just busy doing that today. That's why you can't get him on Wednesdays.
Take him when we can.
But yeah,
I think tomorrow will be a great time to get him, though, as we head into this 4-game series
with the
out
Dodgers.
west.
Yeah, should be fun. Today we have Heather Williams, as always. It's Wednesday, so we'll talk with Heather. We'll also talk with a new sponsor, Mockingbird Title. Owner Houston AKIN will join us. But, we're not just going to talk about real estate. No. He wants to talk some ball, and we want to talk some ball, so we're just going to let him talk some ball. And so looking forward to that. We'll also talk with we're going to get Prep Thursday is going to get a little tease, because we're going to start that in at 3:20-ish today when we talk with Fun Radio's Jerry Richmond.
The longtime voice of the Trousdale County Yellow Jackets, who has broadcast, I said long time, right? He's done 499 Trousdale County high school football games, which means Friday will be
the big 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to talking to Jerry and kind of picking his brain and all the knowledge that he's procured over the years and watching a lot of high school football. I know he's seen some things and looking forward to talking to him. So all of that coming your way and much, much more. But before we do anything else, Mo, we need to get yesterday's results and today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
High school volleyball action from Tuesday. Oakland in 5 sets. It was Oakland at Cookeville, by the way, not Laverne at Cookeville. No.
It was a try match.
Oh, it was a try match. Okay, so Oakland defeated Cookeville 3-2, and then Cookeville swept Laverne 3-0. Wow.
I don't see Oakland and Laverne. Maybe it was just a double header.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Eagleville swept Culleoka 3-0. It was Good Pasture 3, Friendship Christian 0. Hampshire with a 3-0 win over Lewis County. Loretto blanked Brooks of Alabama 3-0. Middle Tennessee Christian Providence Christian 3-1. It was Summertown 3, Perry County 0. Gallatin with a 3-1 win over Portland. Siegel defeated Riverdale 3-0. Rockvale defeated Blackman 3-0. It was White County 3, Smyrna 0. Spring Hill with a 3-1 win over Franklin County. Cheatham County defeated Stewart County 3-0. It was Stewart's Creek 3, Warren County 0. And University School of Nashville with a 3-0 win over Columbia Academy.
Girls soccer action. Antioch down to Ezo Harding 11-2. It was Battleground Academy 2. Providence Christian 0. Brentwood Academy shut out Franklin Road Academy 4-0. Cane Ridge was a 5-0 winner over McGavick, while Franklin down across town rival Centennial 2-0. Kirkwood and Northeast with a 2-2 draw, while Pope Prep down Davidson Academy 7-0. It was Nashville Christian, a 6-2 winner over Donaldson Christian. Cheatham County shuts out East Robertson 9-0. Clarksville Academy was a 4-0 win over Friendship Christian, and Giles County shuts out Marshall County 6-0. STEM Academy, a 2-1 winner over Glencliff, while Columbia Academy shut out Hickman County 9-0. Hume Fogg, a 7-0 winner over St. Cecilia. John Overton 3, Hunters Lane 0. Green Hill 2-0 winners over Lebanon, and Richland and Loretto played to a 1-1 draw.
In a matchup of Class A state semifinalists from last fall. Host Merrill High with a 9-0 win over Culleoka. It was Murfreesboro Central 9, Lawrence County 0. Brentwood and Page played to a 1-1 draw. Ravenwood defeated Independence 5-2. It was Rockvale 9, Riverdale 0. Blackman and Siegel to a scoreless draw. Ditto for Smyrna and Laverne. Clarksville 9, Springfield 0. It was Stewart's Creek 4, Spring Hill 1. Mount Juliet and Station Camp played to a 1-1 draw. Nolensville Edge Summit 4-3. The Sycamore 2, Fairview 0. Martin Luther King 1, Valor Collegiate 0. Watertown with a 7-0 win over Upperman. West Creek down Kenwood 9-0. Portland doubled up White House Heritage 2-1. And Wilson Central 6, Cookeville 0 with an asterisk.
That just means it's a district match. I just forgot to put the arrows and take this.
Wilson Central 6, Cookeville 0.
Yeah, and nothing special about it other than it's a district match.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Major League Baseball play last night. The Braves 3, Rockies 1. There goes the scoreless streak for Charlie Morton, but he does get the dub. Surprise, because he's going to get a decision.
He's going to get either a win or a loss. Charlie's going to get it. Yeah, 14-10 now on the year. The most decisions of any pitcher in Major League Baseball, and understandably so.
Well, because he's going to give you 5 innings, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, there you go.
Marlins fell to the Rays 11-2. Astros 6-2 winners over the Red Sox. Cardinals edged the Padres 6-5. The Cubs 1-0 winners over the Brewers, and the Giants were 6-1 winners over the Reds. And all the way to the 9th inning, we'll talk about it later, was a no-hitter bid, but Obviously, the Reds scored, so and they didn't walk in and run on bases loaded.
There you go.
Minor league baseball action, not a great start for the Sounds in Durham. They fall 7-3 to the Bulls as they are trying to pull themselves to the top spot in International League play. Not a great start there. WNBA action last night. Atlanta takes down Phoenix 94-76, was Washington 83, Minnesota 72, and the Chicago Sky edged the Sparks of Los Angeles 76-75.
Today's schedule in volleyball action, Stewart's Creek goes to Riverdale. That's a 6 o'clock start. At 7 o'clock in girls soccer up in Clarksville, West Creek travels to Rossview. Major League Baseball action today in progress. Bottom of the 6th is the White Sox 10, the Orioles 5. In the top of the 7th is the Phillies 6, the Angels 5. In the bottom of the 7th, it's the Twins 2, the Guardians nothing. Top of 4, Padres lead the host Cardinals 3-0. Bottom of the 3rd, host Cubs 2, Brewers 1. Nationals and Blue Jays just getting started in Toronto. Also at 2:45, the Reds continue their series at San Francisco. At 3:10, the Astros continue their series at Boston. At 5:40, it's Tampa Bay at Miami. And at 7:40, the Braves wrap up their 3-game series looking for the sweep at Colorado. 5:35, Sounds continue their series at Durham.
Oh, no.
No, we're
Okay.
good. We're good. and in soccer action, 8:30 tonight, Nashville SC travels to Miami, taking on Lionel Messi and Inter Miami FC. So that is your rundown. I think I said 8:30. That's a 6. I might have
6:30 first touch tonight. Yes.
Bigger font.
O-line,
Perhaps.
maybe so. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let's go into our top story, which is brought to you by the folks who fed me today, Piggly Wiggly. I did go get a meat and vegetable from their deli counter. Had a little fried chicken and yams with turnip greens and some strawberry cobbler. And strawberry cobbler is worth the price of
That
admission.
sounds like it's hidden. I might have to swing through there on my way home just to get some strawberry cobbler, assuming they got any left.
Yeah, it was solid. It was solid. So make sure to go by there and get your fresh hand-cut meats. They do that daily. And, of course, they have great fresh produce and everything else at cost plus 10% at the register. Also, you can pick up a copy of Main Street Murray if you have not picked one up or do not subscribe, which you should. But if you haven't, you can pick one up for 50 cents out front. They are fully stocked as of 1 o'clock today when I left, because the lady was literally stocking them as I was leaving.
I thought maybe you stocked them.
No,
Okay.
but yeah. So make sure to go pick up your copy of Main Street Murray.
If you're not subscribing, which you should be.
For $30 a year, I don't know what you're doing if you're not. Now, the Atlantic Coast Conference has been in the news for about a week now.
And here's the thing. The Atlantic Coast Conference has been in the news, and they've not done anything.
Yeah, to this point.
Of course, it sounds like that might be getting ready to change.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the expansion possibilities if necessary and if time allows. But what I wanted to talk about was the ACC announced they will be showing football games inside of theaters. And not only, so the CW will broadcast ACC football and basketball games. It includes theatrical distribution of the New Year's Six bowl games, college football, playoff national championships, and 75 ACC games during the 2023 season. Now, the movie theaters will be the ones who determine the cost to go. Scott Dahl, president and chief operating officer of Theater Sports Network, which inked the deal with ESPN.
Theater Sports Network. Okay, so this is a thing elsewhere then.
We believe movie theaters are the next great frontier for live sporting events, and we are elated with this unprecedented agreement with ESPN.
Are people going to go to theaters to watch ball games?
What? Okay, so let me throw this out there. When's the last time you went to a movie in Franklin at the AMC?
It's been a couple of years easily.
But since the renovation and the ability to order food,
I think once since then.
so AMC theaters now offer in most of their locations the ability to order food.
Mm-hmm. And they got those recliners. But here's my thing. Those recliners at a movie?
Yeah, that just puts you to sleep. Yeah, I'm out. But my problem with it is if I'm going to watch a sporting event in a setting like that, I want to be able to interact with people around me. And
Right.
It's too dark.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe they're going to turn it up. Maybe they're going to turn the lights up.
Then it'd be hard to see the screen, don't you think?
You would think.
So
I don't know. That's wild to me.
now, do I think it would be? This is something that I would do one time to see. I would test it because even if I don't, I mean, it's kind of like going to a ball game. I mean, I don't really, other than high fiving the people around me, I don't interact with people at a ball game as a fan. So maybe it's no different.
I'm just trying to figure out if there is a theater sports network in existence. They didn't just come into existence to do this. This had to already be in place, didn't it?
Meta Media.
Everything I'm seeing about this is in the last day.
Well, yeah, because this is the big news.
Well, yeah.
Theater Sports
Okay,
Network.
theatersportsnetwork.com.
Yep, there you go. Now, this website is as basic as it can possibly get.
It sure is. Yeah, if you're looking for any information, good luck.
And so they're going to be showing the A&M Miami game. And I just don't, I don't know. What is an event that you would want to see on a screen like that?
National championship?
I mean, would you want to go watch the national championship? Look,
I think I'd almost rather watch it at a sports bar, though.
The problem, here's the thing. I'm not going to a sports bar. Although I do love the fact that they have several screens, I want the one big screen. And most of them don't have one big screen.
Right.
So I don't hate the idea of this. Now, like when Embers here in Columbia is a good example. They have a stage, but they have that one projector screen where they show the game on that projector screen and everybody in the bar can see it. Now that's cool. I like that. But it's still only about 70 inches. I can get 70 inches at the house with a $150 projector and a wall that's got a sheet on it. I can do that.
Why do all that work if somebody else going to do it for you, though?
Well, because it's going to cost me less money in the long run. The beer's cheaper at home. The food's cheaper at home. And that's the thing. I mean, you're talking about movie theater prices here. I'm going to need a bundle deal. I'm going to need a ticket. I'm going to need some food, and I'm going to need
free and some drinks
and drinks
for the low
for $50 if I'm going to do it. And that is the absolute maximum. Not paying more than $50 total. Period.
And it better be a pretty good package.
Yeah, I want nachos, hot dog, popcorn, and a drink with free refills. Maybe even some candy.
That doesn't really strike me as college football fare, but okay.
Well, hot dog and popcorn. And that's ballpark food.
No,
I mean, it's Little League ballpark food, but it's ballpark food.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking more like wings and beer, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that would be ideal. But I mean, I'm just kind of, it's not, it just doesn't seem like the kind of place.
I think the ACC is probably the perfect proving ground for this, because as you and I sit here and have this conversation, I don't think it flies in the SEC.
I don't think it's necessary in the SEC.
No.
I just,
which is why it wouldn't fly in this.
Yeah, I mean, a place where it might be better is also the Big Ten, where it's a little colder during the winter months. You start getting October, November, it's kind of cool. Maybe you don't want to go outside and watch it with your buddies, but you and all your buddies can get together and go to the movie theater and watch it. I don't know. It just seems like a weird idea, because in my mind, the next frontier is the metaverse. Give me an Oculus where I can be immersed into the situation.
Where you're sitting in the stadium
Yeah.
watching the game?
Yeah.
From the 50-yard
halfway
line
up in the 50-yard line, give me that view all day.
In the Georgia Dome on the 50-yard line?
Where the Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got on the drop down for Theater Sports Network. They're showing Notre Dame and NC State at 10. I assume is that Central? Is that Eastern? Got to be Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern?
That's what it says.
That's going to be like Pacific or something. Are they from the?
I don't know, but this says A&M in Miami's at 1:30. And then week 3, they've got Bethune-Cookman in Miami, Florida State, Boston. Well, I guess they've got all the ACC games. But they're already up. And then also on the drop down, they've got New Year's 6 and playoffs. So.
Yeah, Notre Dame, NC State is at 11 a.m. Central. So that's Mountain Time.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Doesn't make any sense.
None.
Are they from Colorado? They probably baked or I don't know.
Well, when you click on About Us, you get who we are. Theater Sports Network brings live college football games to local movie theater screens so that fans can gather to watch their favorite teams play on the big screen.
And that's it.
And that's about it. And it doesn't tell you where they are.
No, you go down to the bottom, there's no.
So do we know how many theaters are involved in this?
No, that's a really good question.
I mean, is it only in the ACC
footprint?
Well, to the extent that there are footprints anymore.
Well, there's that. I mean, yeah, it doesn't say how many. It just says participating local theaters, because I mean, I might.
What's local?
Yeah. Aha. Meta Media is headquartered in Los Angeles. For more information, visit metamedia.global.
Tell us what teams and games you want to see. You have questions, we have answers. Let us know how we can help. No, you don't have answers.
Theater Sports Network is headquartered in Salt Lake City.
There we go. Mountain Time.
There you go. Now we know.
Now we know why it's a 10 o'clock start time for
it's
Notre
10 o'clock
Dame
for
and NC
Jason
State.
Brennick, the CEO of Meta Media, not for us here in town. Folks will be showing up at 10 o'clock to the theater and having to wait 2 hours on Eastern time. You'd be mad? Tell me how mad you would be. How mad would you be? 1 to 10.
13.
Oh, off the charts. I'd be so angry.
Yeah. Wow. Getting off to a great start.
Oh, man. Well, let's take a break, and we will try to get in touch with Heather Williams to talk a little NASCAR and the playoffs. So
Playoffs.
That's right, playoffs. We're talking about playoffs now. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. It's comes back to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, coming to you live from the Lee Company studio. God, I cannot talk today for some reason.
That's not a good thing.
I told you, especially on a talk show.
Right.
I told you earlier, I'm having some ADD moments, and that's what I feel like because I'm trying to do one thing and do another thing, and I can't do two things at once. So I'm going to try to focus here and get us going. We are in the Lee Company studio. It's Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are awaiting, hopefully, the arrival of Heather Williams to talk a little NASCAR. But until that point, we can somewhat get you set up for this situation. Mm-hmm. And that is the playoffs are set. Bubba Wallace is in due to Chris Buescher being a repeat winner. So Darlington is race number one in the playoffs, and that is
I guess we keep talking about Bubba Wallace because he was the most, as they say in NCAA tournament talk.
Yeah, he was the
most bubblicious, right?
Yes, he was kind of the last one. He was the last one. Mm-hmm. Period. So,
But just ahead of him are Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse, and Michael McDowell. Now, Michael McDowell won a race, right?
McDowell got in via a win, and
Neither Stenhouse nor Harvick won this year. Is that right?
Did Stenhouse not win the 500?
Did he?
I know Harvick didn't win one. But you know what? That's a good question. I don't remember off the top of my head. His last win was the 500. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he did win a race.
Yeah, he won a race.
Okay.
Which
That's
is
right.
he and so I believe it was Keselowski and Harvick were the two who did not win a race to get in.
Right. Keselowski, Harvick, and Bubba.
And Bubba. Those are the three that did not win. Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain obviously is in, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and atop the standings, William Byron.
The cut line fell just in front of Trackhouse Racing's Daniel Suarez.
Yes, Suarez and Wallace were kind of racing for that final playoff spot, and Suarez actually got to the front at Daytona on Saturday night, but could not take the checkered flag, which again allowed Bubba Wallace to get in. And there will be 3 races in this one. So they'll race at Darlington, Kansas, and then the night race at Bristol. That's when it cuts to 12.
It's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol. And I hate that I am booked that day.
Right?
Because apparently I was approved to at least apply for credentials to the
Did you
race.
apply?
I did not apply because I'm booked. So
I think you should have applied, and maybe you could get unbooked.
get unbooked. Now, that might be the play, but yeah. And then of course
Bristol for the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs exactly.
Yeah.
Texas, Talladega, and Charlotte will see the top 12, and then of course Las Vegas, Homestead, and Martinsville gets us to the 8, and then the final race and the final 4 is in Phoenix for the championship. So tough scene on Saturday night as Ryan Preece really, thank goodness Ryan is okay. It's a very scary moment when you see these cars get on their nose and start flipping. It's not typical. They've obviously tried to create these cars in a way that they don't have those issues, but it did happen to Ryan on the on lap 156 down the back stretch. Eric Jones got into him in the rear, and then Priest kind of went across to his left, gets into the infield, lifts off the ground, tumbled into the grass, flipped 10 times total. Priest got out of his car under his own power and then was put on a stretcher and transported to the infield care center. He was later transported to a local medical facility where he was released on Sunday morning. Stuart Haas Racing said, he will remain overnight at Halifax Health Medical Center for continued observation. The driver of the number 41 Ford Mustang for Stuart Haas Racing is awake, alert, and mobile, and has been communicating with family and friends. Priest will undergo another evaluation by medical personnel, and an update will be provided later in the afternoon. That was posted on Saturday night. He posted on Saturday night, if you want to be a race car driver, you better be tough.
There you go.
So he toughed it out, man. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And, obviously I saw Davey Allison flip like that. Saw some other drivers who unfortunately did not make it through flips like that. And thank goodness for the safety of these cars at this point.
And you find out just how safe and how well built they are at times like that.
Now, I didn't mention this, but the playoffs actually have a sponsor.
The playoffs have a sponsor.
The NASCAR Powerball Playoff, round of 16.
Okay.
So, of course, William Byron won the Darlington race earlier this year and will be going for the old sweeperoo. And, of course, you advance automatically to the next round if you get a win in one of these 3 races. And then, obviously, it goes by points. So, it's really important for those teams between 13, 14, 15, 16 to try and just go ahead and win these things.
Right.
And so should be, when you get to the playoffs at this point, it's always going to be very, very competitive. So I'm looking forward to see how these guys kind of take on Darlington, because again, Darlington's one of those short tracks that these cars have struggled at. So you never really know what you're going to get out of it. And it's also a night race. So in Darlington, South Carolina. So, weather's going to play a big factor in tires. Weather's going to play a big factor in everything. I mean, is there going to be any, leading up to the race? How much is this hurricane going to affect the timing and the schedule and all the things that go along with that? So it's going to be a really difficult time for these drivers. I got a feeling.
Should be interesting.
I am excited to see it. I love these. I love playoffs like this winner go home stuff, and man, gotta love it. All right, let's see here. I don't see anything else that needs to be talked about necessarily. So, yep. All right, well, we'll take a break, talk a little Braves on the other side of a break. So stick around. Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Did you know that up to 80% of us will experience back or neck pain during our lifetime? Many of you are offered surgery or addictive pain pills to relieve your chronic pain. At the Dr. Gill's Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief, we have been leading the way to better health, naturally, and have helped tens of thousands of people right here in Middle Tennessee for the past 30 years.
I came to Dr. Gill about 10 years ago after my local doctors recommended surgery. I knew about Dr. Gill and wanted to see if he could help me. 10 years later, I am pain-free, no surgery, and no pain pills.
Surgery is scary, and over 40% of all back surgeries fail, creating a cycle of surgery and pills. There is a safer solution to your chronic pain. Make the call to the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief today and get your life back. This office visit is normally $299, but call today and receive your initial consultation, report of finding for just $49. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Call 615-768-8743. That's 615-768-8743.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
At 2000, Javi Lopez and Andres Galarraga each homered as Braves down visited in Cincinnati 5-2. With the win, manager Bobby Cox moved past Tommy Lasorda on the all-time managerial victories list into 14th place with 1,600. Cox retired in 2010 as the fourth winningest manager in MLB history with 2,504. That was this day in Braves history.
Won 900 more games after that.
Yeah, in what, 9 seasons, basically 10 seasons.
That's
from
good.
01 to 10.
Is that good? That seems good.
It's an average of 90 wins a year.
That seems good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Hey, Heather's here. We want to say hello. Hey, Heather.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Heather.
How are you doing?
Well, I feel awful
It's
because
okay.
there's actually a story here. So
We want to hear.
today,
Go ahead. Give us
today,
your excuse.
today I was supposed to be doing a ride along with Bubba Wallace at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I've actually set an alarm.
We know where we rank. Then,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
behind-
I actually set an alarm to remind myself of this appearance every week after I forgot. But I canceled this week because I was going to cancel on you all. But then we got rained out at Charlotte. So I didn't cancel on you all, but I forgot because I canceled my alarm.
You know,
So you missed us and Bubba. then.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
is-
so I just messed it all up.
I don't know how you're going to get the rest of your NASCAR fix this week. I mean, this is this is a struggle at this point.
Yeah, it's a bad day all the way around.
Well, tell
all
us
the way around.
this.
And I apologize for leaving you guys hanging.
No, it's perfectly fine. We laid out the playoff format and all the drivers in it and talked about Ryan Preece a little bit. But before we let you go, tell us what to expect at Darlington. Obviously, it's a weird weekend with all of the weather and whatnot. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll just add an interesting dynamic. That track's already super worn because of being so close to the ocean and all the salt water that comes on there and wears down that track. So it's already hard on tires. It's already a tough track. The weather's only going to increase that. So yeah, it just adds another interesting dynamic. It could shorten some of the practices depending on how long it lingers in there, or maybe, cancel practices altogether. So fun way to start off the playoffs for sure. An already tough track.
Oh. I'm looking forward to it personally. So hopefully.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the playoffs. Historic track. I mean, I can't think of a better place to start.
Well, and no better place to end the first round than Bristol. So
I know.
It's-
I just don't even. I just have to stutter because I messed up today.
it's
I
all
didn't get
good.
to talk to you all, and I didn't get to talk to Bubba. I mean, what have I done with my day?
That's-
But at least he is in the playoffs. So hopefully you can reschedule that and get a chance to get with him before the next round.
Yeah, hopefully. I think they're trying to reschedule it for the week of a Bristol race. So
Well, enjoy and have a good time on Friday night with the scoreboard highlight show. I know that you guys have a good time with that, and always enjoy seeing the clips that you post. So we appreciate it.
yeah, and hopefully no ties up here this week.
Oh,
Ideally,
goodness.
I didn't know of any ties.
Well, it's technically a no contest, but the Greenville Dobbins Bennett game got canceled because of lightning in the middle of the third quarter.
Oh, Man, that's a crappy game to get canceled. That's a good one.
You're right.
Yeah. There's
That's
14 all in the third quarter, and Lightning came, and both teams were just like, "We're good. We're going home."
And that's probably the best call. I mean, there's no need to
because
sit there
once
at
you
10
sit
o'clock
there
at
for
night.
2 hours
Yeah,
and then you get another strike, and that's a whole ordeal right
I mean,
there.
I know, I guess technically from a standpoint of the schools, it's the right thing. But as a fan, man, I want to see the end of that game.
Heck yeah, you want to see the end
You
of the
feel a
ball
little
game.
cheated, absolutely.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. Can I get half my money back on the way out, please? Can you?
or all my money back since I didn't see a winner. Yeah.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we are in no better place now than we were when we started this thing.
That's it.
Yeah. Especially since it's a premier game. If it's a couple of teams that won one game or two games last year, okay. But these are two of the best programs in the state, and for it to end like that was anticlimactic.
Okay, I got to ask you a question because we talked about this in the first segment. Would you, and this might be a really good scenario. Have you seen this thing about the ACC showing games in theaters?
I did see that.
Okay, so NASCAR in a theater sounds like it would be cool. Think about the surround sound.
Mm.
And the big screen. That would be something I would watch. I would watch the Daytona 500
So you would be
in a
more
theater.
likely to watch NASCAR than college football.
Absolutely.
What if they did? Did you remember? Do you remember when they did the NASCAR in IMAX? What if they shot those races in IMAX?
Oh my gosh, that's actually But that's probably one of the sporting events that I would prefer to watch in a theater than at home, because I feel like it would be even more entertaining with all of the things that go around with.
Yeah, because it's a sport that's just more like the feeling, the vibration, the sounds mean more. I mean, they mean something in football because the crushing of the helmets and the pads and stuff. I mean, that means something, but it really just makes a huge difference when you're watching it in person, when you have that immersive experience. And the theater would definitely be closer to that with the surround sound than if they could get some sort of 3D or IMAX or something.
Yeah, I think NASCAR might be at the top of my list of sporting events I would watch in a theater.
In a theater.
So anyway, thanks for joining us, Heather. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you again
alarm
next
week. Already set for next week.
Just don't cancel it, and if something happens, we'll be good to go.
We will be hitting you up throughout the day, Wednesday.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's there
lost
you go.
my mind.
Yeah, thanks, Heather.
See you guys.
Let's talk a little Braves here as a 15th pitcher, 16th pitcher.
I believe. 16th
We'll be
pitcher to
making-
start. Yeah.
We'll be making a start for the Atlanta Braves as they are 41 games above 500 for the year.
Yeah. I mean,
That's insane. If you start 15 or 16 pitchers in a season, you're probably more times than not, you're 45 and 80, not 80 and 45.
you're more likely to be 41 games under 500 than 41 games over 500 if you've started 16 different pitchers. Not thrown, started. 16 different guys have been on the bump for the first pitch of your games.
It's insane.
This just struck me, and it may be blasphemous from the context of how we conduct ourselves on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
As a manager, if you start 16 different pitchers and you're 41 games above 500, you might be manager of the year.
No, I'm sure it'll be
Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts. I'm positive it'll be Dave Roberts, or literally anyone else. It might be who's the new Marlins manager.
Skip Schumacher.
That might get them to a playoff. He might deserve it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Brian Snitker doesn't.
I am by no means a Brian Snitker apologist. Anybody that listens to this show with any regularity knows that. But 16 different starting pitchers, and yet you have the best record in baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
it's hard to argue.
I'm not saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
and here's the thing, but you have to look at one other thing.
That offense?
The offense. I mean, I feel like
763 runs scored in 131 games, whatever that comes out to.
But here's the thing, and if you go and you look at the Major League Baseball standings,
5.8 runs per game.
I'm
I
going
don't
to get
know.
down here. 231
Run differential. Yeah.
And nobody else is close. The next closest is 174, and that's Texas. That's what, 70? 60? 60
What'd you say,
more?
170?
174 and 231, that's 60 more, basically. 57, but yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I was making,
That's
I was
roughly
like.
roughly 60.
Yeah, it's 60-ish, but that's, I mean, there are division leaders who don't have 60 plus or not plus 60 on the year for their teams. The Brewers are plus 22. The Twins are plus 49, and the Braves have a better run differential over the next highest in the league. That's insanity. But
It's 57, by the way.
yeah.
Over Texas.
Well, that's what I said. I said
Yeah.
60 and then 57. But yeah, now here's the thing: to get plus 231, you got to not let runs score.
That's where the 16 starting pitchers come in.
And
And
to have been able to do that with 16 different starting pitchers is pretty impressive.
Mhm. Yeah.
And oh, by the way, no Kyle Wright. Max Fried's been out most of the year. The only two starters that you have had any regularity with have been Spencer Strider and Charlie Morton.
Elder.
Bryce was out for a little while, though. Not long, but he was out for a minute.
Mhm.
But
I think Strider and Morton are probably the only two that have made
every
their
start.
starts. Yeah.
And so it's pretty remarkable what the Braves have been able to do in this situation.
But yeah, you're right. It'll probably be Dave Roberts or anybody else.
Or anybody else.
And again, I'm not a huge Snicker fan for a number of reasons, but you got to give credit where credit is due sometimes.
Okay. Yes,
But
the Chicago Cubs are 70 and 62. And the only thing that they did this year was go out and get Dansby Swanson. Now, I know the NL Central is not great. But they're 70 and 62, and they beat the Braves 2 of 3 in their last. David Ross might be an option, is all I'm saying. After what?
Don't say that to any Chicago Cub fans.
I know. They're not big fans of David Ross. But
No.
wouldn't it be funny? And same for David Bell. I mean, Reds fans hate him. But what those two guys have done based off last year versus this year, you got to – because here's the thing. The Braves are expected to do this. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. And that's one reason that Snicker didn't win it last year. Despite all the things that despite all the reasons that they should have given it to him over Showalter, mainly the fact that he beat Showalter head-to-head to win the division. But, I mean, Coach of the Year, to me, I think there are a lot of different factors, and there's so many ways you can vote for it, which is why sometimes you get weird winners.
Well,
because it means something different to different people.
Well, yeah, which is why you vote. Which is why a bunch of people vote rather than one person making a decision.
And so I don't
because
know.
You get different
perspectives,
you get different people's input, and everybody's vote counts the same. And You know, it's why the top 25 for the Associated Press works. It's why Manager of the Year and Most Valuable Player and other things like that work, because you get a lot of voices and a lot of perspectives involved in it, as opposed to one person making a decision.
Right.
By the way, the Cubs come to Atlanta in the next to last series of the season, the 26th, 27th, and 28th of September. And
Fantastic.
they will get a chance to address that whole 2 out of 3 at Wrigley.
The Braves.
Now, the question
You don't
be
think the
at
Braves
that-
want that?
at-
Well, at that point, they may not
right.
care.
They,
It may be Smith's.
well, I mean, if we've been saying for the last 2 weeks that they don't care, how much are they going to care with 6 games left?
Yeah, we may see Smith Shawver, this dude that's pitching tonight, and
Just to Sheffield.
what it might be. Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, they might get swept by the Cubs.
But who cares at that point? I mean, we're just,
Especially if the Cubs ain't going nowhere. And there's a chance they won't be.
yeah.
I mean, who's, other than St. Louis, who's not in it in the NL Central?
Well,
Much to M.A. Vopal's chagrin, by the way.
unfortunately, yeah.
I hate
You
that
know,
we brought that up.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
They're 4 games back of the
They're
Brewers.
4 games back. I knew
and
that.
and 3 games ahead of Cincinnati. So.
And the wild card.
Mhm.
I mean, the Cubs they're in right now. They're a game up in the playoffs over San Francisco. So, yeah, they're going to be playing for something.
Yeah, they're a game up over San Francisco. The Diamondbacks are a half game back of that, and the Reds 2 games. Marlins 3 games, and then it
Kind of drops off. Yeah, and the Diamondbacks, they had the best record in the major leagues for a little while.
I don't know if you saw the tweets over the weekend regarding the Padres and the Nationals being in the same spot after the Padres trading for Juan Soto last year. But they are tied 7.5 back of the final wild card. The Padres and the Nationals.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the Nationals were only 9 games under 500. That's actually pretty good for a team that's not trying very hard right now. They're in rebuild mode. That's impressive.
Well,
in the NL East, where it's been a tough road to hoe in the last couple of years. That's pretty wild.
They are 2 games clear of the last place Mets in the NL East.
I mean, the Rockies are clearly the worst team in the National League. It's not even close. They're
You say that
well, they're
as we get ready to go tonight.
well. I know. I'm just saying they're 7.5 games behind St. Louis for the worst record in the National League, and I mean, outside of that, though, it's pretty wild to look at this at the wild card standings when you're sitting here a month and a half out. No, right at a month. Right at a month out, and you've got 6 teams within 3 games of one another. I mean, the wild card in the National League is going to be down to the wire. Now, in the American League, kind of the same thing. The Rays are running away with it at 81-52, by the way. 81-52, and they are the wild card right now. That's how insane the American League East has been. So, anyway, just thought that was interesting. Before we get out of here,
Well, I want to tell you a couple of things about Darius Vines real quick.
tell me about Darius Vines. I would
starter.
love to know something about him.
25-year-old 7th rounder in the 2019 draft out of Cal State Bakersfield, which is also where Alan Winans is from.
Okay.
Lost the 2020 year because of COVID.
Sure.
Had a shoulder injury in spring training this year, but had rehabbed at the complex level and at Rome before making 5 starts at Gwinnett. Over those 5 starts, he's been 2-2 with a 2.86 ERA. striking out 25 and walking 11. And so
at Gwinnett, he posted a 2.86 with a 25 to 11 K to walk ratio, which is insane. Over 28 and a third. Kyle Wright, by the way, starting tonight for Gwinnett.
Yes.
Against
for Gwinnett, yeah.
In Memphis, I think.
Ah, okay.
So I believe they're in Memphis at AutoZone Park. That's a big one. If you're out west.
Get you some barbecue nachos from Rendezvous while you're down there at AutoZone Park. They're solid.
And so this, I think you're going to see at least one more rehab start from Kyle Wright at AAA after tonight, perhaps two more. But I think you'll see one more, and then they may try to bring him in slowly over the mid-September for a couple of starts.
And here's the thing. I mean, you can go in either direction with him. You can start him or you can throw him in the bullpen.
Sure.
As Brandon Gaudin and Peter Moreland was saying on last night's telecast. And he may be more dangerous in the bullpen because you don't know when you're going to see him if you're the opponent. And if you've got Freed, Strider, Morton, Elder as your four starters and Wright as a potential long man or a bridge,
he can kind of get you out of some jams if one of your starters struggles and you feel comfortable going to him for a long term. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So
I don't hate that at all. I do hate that the Braves couldn't grab any of the Angels fire sale-ish. It's not really a sale, more of a dump.
Yeah.
They kind of took everything to Goodwill and said, here, y'all pick it over. And so everybody's on waivers, but it would have been nice to get, maybe a bullpen piece out of that or something if necessary. But right now with Dylan Lee and Jesse Chavez coming back.
When you're the best team in baseball, you get the last shot at
you don't get any shot at them. So
it's like you got to Big Lots late.
Yep.
And all the good stuff is gone.
All the good stuff is gone. That's right. Can't get to bargain hunt late because all the stuff will be picked over. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Houston AKIN, owner of Mockingbird Title, joins us. We'll learn a little bit about what Mockingbird does, and we'll talk a little Vols and who knows what else. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, is back after this.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Let your child play like the pros this fall season and join Titans Flag Football in their NFL Flag Football League. Titans Flag Football is no contact, easy to learn, convenient with teams meeting once per week for practices and games on Sundays. And we cannot forget, it's ridiculously fun. Teams are co-ed with ages from pre-K through 8th grade in select locations across Middle Tennessee. Visit TitansFlagFootball.com and sign up before registration closes on September 4th. Let's play together and win together this fall season with Titans Flag Football.
Y'all, I'm serious right now. They have a dragon here. I saw it. But no, they don't. There's no such thing as dragons. I swear, I saw it. It had huge claws. Get out of here. It had eyes as big as the moon. Come on, I'll show you. Wait up. We're almost there. Whoa! I told you so. That is a dragon.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yao, joined as always by Mo Patton. And excited about Wednesdays because now we're in the second hour. So we are officially on the downward slope.
Halfway home.
We're halfway home, and
for the day and for the week.
That's right. So it's going to be an exciting back half of the week with high school football. Plenty of high school football in Metro Nashville tomorrow. Just about all but one Metro Nashville team, and that's Hunters Lane, who will be down here on Friday.
That's right.
So
everybody else playing tomorrow night.
Everybody else playing on Thursday.
Maplewood.
So
which will host Spring Hill tomorrow night.
That's right. You'll be down there for that.
I will be.
And of course, Friday night will be full, and then Labor Day weekend, it's going to be full, chock full of college football, major college football games. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Just put your feet up.
Yep. Put your feet up on Saturday and
I would even suggest getting you a cooler and just sitting it next to wherever you're sitting so you don't have to get up.
I'll tell you a little bit later what we've done in the sunroom. It's fantastic. But first, we want to get to our guest who may or may not have his feet up on Saturday.
No, he won't have his feet up on Saturday. He's got tickets.
He'll be among the sold-out crowd at Nissan Stadium.
What time's that game, kid?
11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Breakfast with the Vols.
All you need is a little Jefferson Pilot action, right, Houston?
That's right, guys. I missed those
the Daves
games.
Yeah, the Fighting Daves, and Jefferson Pilot.
Archer, Neal, and Baker.
That's right. We love the Daves. Oh, man. Houston, thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
So Houston is the chief cook and bottle washer for Mockingbird Title and Escrow, which is a new sponsor here on Main Street Sports Today as of, I guess, Friday. Official
coming up on Friday. So
Houston, exactly what is your title? Seriously.
I would just be the owner, the attorney. I'll take cook. What were all those other things? I might want to put those
in bottle washer.
Yeah. But yeah, Mockingbird Title is my baby. We'll just put it that way.
Now, how long have you all been in operation?
Well, I started. I guess that depends on your definition of operation. Mockingbird itself started in 2020. I started practicing law in 2014 and quickly realized that the world's best networkers are real estate agents. And if I could cater to those folks, then they would tell folks far and wide, and that was the best way to grow my business. So I practiced in areas that could serve real estate agents, probating estates to get title from an estate into the heirs of a decedent, or quieting title for investors who had bought property out of tax sales. And that led me to the title world. And I worked as in-house counsel for a couple of title companies, but realized I missed the practice of law. So I started Mockingbird as a way to have my cake and eat it too, where I could both practice law and also have the title company in a symbiotic relationship. And I think it's led to a pretty unique business model in the Middle Tennessee title company market.
And in the Middle Tennessee title company market, where real estate is booming, and it's got to be a pretty sweet spot to be in.
It is, folks have been justifiably concerned about rates rising and that slowing things down. But we are very spoiled here in Tennessee. Slowing down for us in the Nashville and Middle Tennessee market is really something close to normal, or what should be normal in most places. It seems everyone still wants to move to Nashville and the surrounding counties, and even the surrounding of the surrounding counties, it seems.
Houston, what makes Mockingbird a little different? Obviously, you being an attorney has something to do with that. What kind of sets you guys apart?
Well, a little bit of what I touched on earlier. We can provide one-stop shopping, so we can take care of a lot of those legal issues that precede even getting a contract for the sale of a property. So, if someone has passed away and we're looking to get title into the heirs' names, there's a court process that goes along with that. So I can handle that before there's ever a contract. Or I mentioned quiet title actions if someone has bought a property out of a tax sale. So if I'm handling these things with the court from the get-go, I know ahead of time what the title requirements are going to be, and I can meet those requirements so we're not having to go back and get orders re-signed and things like that. It just makes the communication easier because it's all in the same place. It makes things more efficient. It makes things more cost efficient as well.
Well, that's it's so important for folks, especially who are watching this show, to know, if you're looking to buy a house, there are a lot of different ways to go about it, but you absolutely need someone on your side who can navigate all of the issues that certainly come along with closing. And closing is obviously the most difficult part of probably a real estate process, let's be honest, and having an experienced person on your side at the end of the day is really key.
Yes, and it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. We're in growth mode. I'm hiring people who are also passionate and enthusiastic about it. And as much as, it's fun to work with investors, it's fun to work with realtors. We did a closing yesterday for a family with a new baby, closing on their very first home. There were tears at the end of the closing at the closing table. It wasn't the biggest deal or the most expensive house, but those are the ones that when you lay your head on your pillow at night, it makes everything worthwhile. So I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Moving into the sports world, you will be at Nissan Stadium. How are you feeling about the Vols this year?
Oh, is college football coming up?
That's what I hear. I've heard rumors. We've heard rumors.
It's fun to be a Tennessee fan again. I don't know what the Vols are going to do this year, but I know that there is hope. That's
not always been the case.
That has not been the case I'm 45 years old, and I never got used to Tennessee not being relevant. And there's a whole generation of folks that don't know much different. But I like to say Tennessee is Tennessee again. There's not a game. I'm not saying that Tennessee would go undefeated, or I'm predicting Tennessee to go undefeated, but there's not a game I look at on that schedule where I say Tennessee just can't win that game. And that has rarely, if at all, been the case in the last 10 to 15 years.
And Chris and I, Houston, have talked on and off the air. There is a generation of fans of college football that have not seen Tennessee be good. And a lot of them feel like the UT fan base is one of the most obnoxious in the game as it is. They're not ready for Tennessee to be good.
Yeah, I think, you're probably right. I don't know that they know exactly how obnoxious Tennessee fans can be. Because, there's only so far you can defend being obnoxious, but I will defend to a point. Tennessee fans have taken a lot in the last decade or so, and a lot of punches to the face, and just keep getting up. They may be the most obnoxious. They're also, it'd be hard to find a fan base that's more supportive. But I am a Tennessee fan first. I am a college football fan second as well. And I think I'm being objective when I say college football is just better when Tennessee is good, when Tennessee matters. And I would say the same thing when Alabama was down for a long time. College football is better for having the Alabamas of the world, the Tennessees of the world, the Miamis of the world, if they can come back, the Texases of the world, they can come back. It's better. And we saw that last year with the atmospheres we saw at Neyland Stadium that, we hadn't really seen in a decade or so. Just makes the whole sport better.
A lot of people struggle to admit that, but I mean, I don't disagree with you, and I think it's pretty well factual. I don't think it's opinion.
I mean, just go look at the ratings last year when Tennessee was playing in those big games, at the top of the charts.
Yeah, and I said I'm a Tennessee fan, but I'll admit when Alabama's down, college football is not as good. It's just there are certain programs and certain traditions that really they need to be up there for the good of the game.
And it's not fun to hate Alabama if it's easy to hate Alabama and easy to punch down at Alabama. It's not nearly as fun. Now, they enjoyed punching down on Tennessee for a while, and I don't know how. But to me, it was really hard to kind of be an Alabama hater when they weren't very good. It's just like, well, it is what it is. So yeah, it's a lot more fun especially in the world of the internet. Obviously Tennessee's not been very good in the world of the internet. That's why nobody knows how obnoxious we can be. But it's gonna be an interesting year when Tennessee finds its way to that college football playoff and who knows what else. And if Rick Barnes ever gets over the hump and gets to a Final Four, it may be the end of the world, Houston.
Yeah. And then you got the baseball program doing what it's doing. So, and putting back my taking the Tennessee hat off and putting my college football fan hat on. Also, the third Saturday in October being back, I think is a big deal. Because a lot of, like you said, there's a generation of folks who don't know how special that rivalry is, whether you're a Tennessee fan or an Alabama fan or just a college football fan. And it's, let's be honest, it's Tennessee's fault. It's Tennessee's fault that rivalry has fallen off. And to bring it back in the way that Tennessee brought it back last year, and I was there in my normal season tickets, and I've been to some great sports environments. Nothing compared to that. That was just an unreal environment.
Wow. I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to this football season as a college football fan, but we have to ask you, because at this point we're asking everyone. The ACC is showing football games in theaters this year, allegedly, and we're curious what would be a sporting event that you would rather watch in a theater than maybe watch at home or at a sports bar? Is there any sporting event that would be a better experience inside of a theater?
Better inside a theater than
anywhere else,
a house, or other than being at the game.
Than at the stadium.
Not counting being at the game. That's tough to answer. I'd give it a try. I'd like to see what it's like to start with. Now, I think the big drawback for me would be at my house, I'm very close to my refrigerator and I'm very close to food and drink.
And it's all free.
And it's all free. Exactly.
Much cheaper at the grocery store than at the theater. There's no question.
Now your screen's bigger than the theater, but with the technology you got with TVs now and surround sound and all that, the home experience is certainly a lot better than it used to be. So, I don't know. I'll say probably not, but I'd try it. I would try the theater.
I decided in the last segment that I think NASCAR would be at the top of my list of things that I would watch in a theater rather than at home, just because of the sound effects and all of the things that go along with it. But if I'm going to watch a football game, I kind of don't want commentators. I would rather just feel like I'm there. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear. I definitely don't want to hear Gary Danielson in surround sound. That is the last thing I want to hear.
Yeah, and I think baseball might be at the bottom of the list for a theater.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
NASCAR's a good one with the sound of the engines and everything.
Exactly,
that's a good call.
So
yeah.
Anyway, just thoughts. Are you a Braves fan, Houston? I don't know you.
I am. Yeah. I actually the Braves were my first favorite team of any as a little kid because baseball was my first love. So yeah, I remember going to school and looking forward to coming home and seeing if Dale Murphy could hit a home run and they'd lose by 5 runs, but
instead of
maybe Bob Horner would hit one too. So.
Oh, well.
Now it's not if someone's going to hit a home run, it's who's going to hit a home run. So
how many?
It's gotten a bit better along those lines. Houston
Yes, it
Aiken
has.
of Mockingbird Title and Escrow at MB Title on Twitter. He's at Houston Aiken. If you want to see his thoughts on UT, the Braves, and other stuff, be sure and follow him. And we're looking forward to having you guys on with us. So we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to being on here a few more times.
Absolutely. Well, come back and tell us what Nissan Stadium was like because, well, we didn't get credentialed, so we won't know.
Yeah.
We will.
Hey, stay hydrated Saturday.
Yes.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Oh, man. Hey, he's right, though. College football really is better. And when Texas, Alabama, Tennessee,
the thing is, when
you're
you
going to hate this, Notre Dame.
When you say this, people think you're being a homer or whatever.
Yeah, but I'd say it again. USC makes college football better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Penn State makes college football more exciting because if it's just Michigan and Ohio State, then bleh. Give me Penn State in the top 10 like they are this year. This is going to be great. Florida State.
I do think Florida State is certainly one that makes college football, the allure of it, better when they're good. And so I'm glad to see them kind of back in the mix, coming back into the mix. So
I'm curious, Joe Goodman, our friend from down in Birmingham, has posted a screenshot of UAB real estate items. Consideration of a resolution providing authorization to execute an amendment to the lease agreement with Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center Authority for the use of Protective Stadium. I want to know what this amendment is. He does too and cannot find it. He's been told that it's a, quote, non-story, but if someone tells you it's a non-story, it doesn't tell you what it's about. It's a story.
It's a story.
So
make no mistake.
All you had to say was, oh, it's just this. And I can let me decide. It's like, you want to hear a funny story? No, it's just a story. I'll decide if it's funny. How many times have I told you that, Justin?
Many times.
It's just a story until someone else finds it funny.
Until somebody else laughs.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a non-story. If I decide it's a non-story, not if you decide it.
That's funny.
So
that is funny.
Anyway, oh man. Well, let's take a break. We do have the voice of the Trousdale County Yellow Jackets coming your way here in just a moment. And Jerry Richmond will join us ahead of his 500th call.
Yeah, we need to not strain his voice too greatly because he's going to need it Friday night.
Yeah, so we don't need him to talk too often.
Don't need him to miss number 500.
That's right. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtb.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Did you know that up to 80% of us will experience back or neck pain during our lifetime? Many of you are offered surgery or addictive pain pills to relieve your chronic pain. At the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief, we have been leading the way to better health, naturally, and have helped tens of thousands of people right here in Middle Tennessee for the past 30 years.
I came to Dr. Gill about 10 years ago after my local doctors recommended surgery. I knew about Dr. Gill and wanted to see if he could help me. 10 years later, I am pain free, no surgery, and no pain pills.
Surgery is scary, and over 40% of all back surgeries fail, creating a cycle of surgery and pills. There is a safer solution to your chronic pain. Make the call to the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief today and get your life back. This office visit is normally $299, but call today and receive your initial consultation, report of finding for just $49. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Call 615-768-8743. That's 615-768-8743.
You can't.
Folks, welcome back in to Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Took a little bit of time to get us where we needed to be, but we are there, and that's what matters.
There it is.
I'm Chris Yao. He's Mo Patton, and we are coming to you live from the Lee Company studio. Of course, down here.
Sometimes the wait is worth it.
Sometimes the wait is worth it. We're here in Columbia, but we're going to take you guys all the way to Hartsville and Fun Radios and Trousdale, the voice of the Trousdale County Yellow Jackets. We have with us Jerry Richmond. Jerry, thanks for joining us.
Well, glad to be with you. It's been a while since I've seen my buddy Maurice.
Jerry, it's good to see you, man. So I woke up this morning and I had a text from, I won't call him the king of Hartsville because I always thought that was Clint Satterfield, but from Davy Cothran, basically letting me know that you would be Mike's side for the 500th time as the voice of the Yellow Jackets on Friday night when Gordonsville comes up on the creek bank. And first of all, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's I guess it's good to live that long, and it's been a fun ride. Charles County football has been great to cover.
And second, do you remember your first game?
Oh, well, actually, I don't. And if anybody has a tape of it, I wish they'd throw it away. I don't think it'd be too good.
How long, Jerry, does, to this point, 499 games cover? When did you start?
Back in 1983. And the strange part of this story, too, I helped somebody else for like 7 years before I started play-by-play.
Wow. You got to cut your teeth, though. You got to, it takes a little while.
I had a strange start. It wasn't something that I looked for. I'll tell you the story. Back in the mid-'70s, my cousin Tony Majors helped coach the football team. And one summer he said, we need somebody to call in the games to the Tennessean after the football games, give them the score and the stats and such and so on. And well, heck, they'll even pay you. So that first game, we had a press box, had 3 booths in it. I went in there and sat beside Johnny Hawkins, who was going to do, it was a tape delayed broadcast on an old Wallensack reel-to-reel recorder for WJKM. He was in the booth by himself, and I started helping him do some spotting, then doing a little talking, and that's how I got my start.
Well, I don't know at what point you started in the season, but the first game from 1983 was a win over Cannon County.
Okay.
Well, in 1983, a lot of folks got wins over Cannon County, by the way.
Well, and that was Jim Satterfield's final year as head coach.
Okay.
Before Clint took over.
Yeah, I think in '83, Jimmy Satterfield and Mike Carey were the coaches. Then Clint started his run the next year.
How many state championships in that run for you, Cheese?
I have done 9 broadcasts. We have won 8 of them.
It's not bad. You must be the good luck charm. 8
90, 93, 97, 98, 05, 08, 09, and 13 were state championships.
That's a heck of a run.
That's impressive. That really is. The years have been a little lean since then, relatively speaking, I guess, for Trousdale County.
Well, yes, we currently have the longest consecutive playoff run in years that we've been in the playoffs. So that now is like at 35. Yeah, the last losing season, that would have been what, in 87 prior to last year.
That's
so,
sometimes you don't realize it until you hear some of this stuff. I mean, again, Trousdale County has been one of those.
Maurice, I'm not hearing your audio right now.
That ain't good.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay.
So it's safe to say that he doesn't. Cheese does not plan on being at home on Friday after Thanksgiving very often.
No. Yeah, I think about it now that about the second Friday in August will be our jamboree, and then we start playing and we go a while, and then once football's over, I transition to some basketball.
Wow.
The football's been a little bit more fun, I guess, huh?
It has been, and I've always considered myself lucky. I've met a lot of other broadcasters in the business, and over their time, they've seen some pretty lousy football, and I've had the opportunity to call some pretty good football.
You guys go into this Gordonsville matchup on Friday night, 1-1, having won up at Livingston in week 1, falling at Macon County last week. So this will be the home opener. I guess there's a little added edge, a little added excitement to this one, both with it being the home opener and the milestone that you'll be reaching. I mean, when you got started on this, kind of got there, that press box promotion, did you feel like you'd be around 40 years later still doing this?
I never thought about it. Obviously never thought about it at that time. And in reference to the game this week, Stephen Jackson coaches the Gordonsville Tigers, and he used to coach the Trousdale County Yellow Jackets before he joined Coach Creasy over at Oakland. And gosh, Stephen Jackson used to live right behind the football field. So we'll had a chance to talk to him today to record an interview. Gordonsville and Trousdale County over the years have had some battles. Trousdale County has had the upper hand in most of those. Did lose that game last year. And of course, Gordonsville's got good tradition too, with some state championships for them. We have been in the same district or region for several years. That is not the case now. But of course, it's only like 30 minutes from here to Gordonsville. So we pretty much play them in every sport.
And that, when it kind of is, and that's a team that you guys have seen probably every year since you started. I can't imagine you guys haven't played Gordonsville very often, if not at all. And so, there's just a little, everything kind of fitting for this moment. And I know that if you're anything like Mo, talking about accolades is not, and things like this. One, he just thinks that he's just old. and if you stick around long enough, they kind of got to do something for you because you won't go away. and I don't think that's the case here. I do think that it's important to notate these kinds of things. So everything feels like it's a home opener. It's a team that you guys play all the time. It's kind of a big deal. And will you feel a little bit, extra oomph on Friday night because of that?
I don't think so. It's not about me. It's about those young men that wear those purple and gold uniforms, and those guys that coach them up, and the community that loves them so much. And for those mamas and daddies and grandmamas and granddaddies that would love to be there and they can't be there, and I can bring that game into their living room. That's it's not about me. It's about the game and Trousdale County High School.
Well, you've been bringing that game into those living rooms and into those dorm rooms for the kids that take off and go to college afterwards and still want to know what's going on back home, and into the cars for the folks that are heading from point A to point B for a long time and doing a great job of it. And I know firsthand how much it means to a lot of those folks, Jerry. And for that reason, we're glad to be able to get you on for a few minutes and say congratulations and good luck Friday night. And we'll be looking forward to 600.
We'll have to work on that. Mo, it's amazing how technology has changed. Like I said, when I started doing it, I was helping a guy that was taping the ball game on a reel-to-reel Walden-Sack recorder, and then later went to a cassette. It wasn't until 2003 that we were able to broadcast games live.
Oh, wow. And
now at the radio station, which was just an AM station, AM 1090 WJKM, went to WTNK, added a FM signal, and now having 2 FM signals, and also streaming on the internet. And it's always cool. We had an all-class reunion at the high school back in June, and there was a guy there from Fairbanks, Alaska, that used to be our manager here with the football team back in the late 70s. And he said, Jerry, I'll listen to you about every Friday night. That's pretty cool.
Well, it doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't.
That's right. You can hear them worldwide at funradiotn.com, or if you are in the area, 93.5 FM is the home for Trousdale County Yellow Jacket football. And, of course, Jerry and sideline reporter, Chris Gregory, right? Chris,
yes,
this is your sideline guy, right?
Yeah, I've got Cal Welch that sits beside me. He does color and also stats, and he was on the 05 state championship team. And we have Chris Gregory down on the field that used to be the editor of the Vidette here. And I can remember years
and now
ago,
serves as editor of Main Street Murray, where Maurice Patton and Chris Yao currently write.
Yes, and back years ago when I was calling in games to the Tennessean, several times the guy that would answer the phone down there was
Chris Gregory.
Chris Gregory.
There you go. You go. It's all full circle. Hey, man, we appreciate you taking some time out of your prep. And again, good luck Friday night. It's great catching up with you.
Well, thank you very much. And I was thinking last time I saw you would probably been down at Hawkins Field when Davey Cawthon was having one of those All-Star games.
Probably, yeah. I hate that he's no longer doing that, but yeah, that was a lot of fun, and always great to see you. And we'll catch up.
Mo, come up and see us sometime.
I need to do that.
Good deal.
Yep, we'll catch up with you.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Yes, sir. A legend of the broadcasting world.
No question, man. And as you talk to him, you don't know that he realizes it. But I mean, hopefully,
there are legends in their own mind, and then they're just legends.
No,
he's one of the latter.
He's the latter for sure. And I mean, the guy telling him that he listens to him every Friday night from Fairbanks, Alaska. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Fairbanks, north to Alaska.
Wonder if he knows Charles Williams.
Because everyone in Alaska knows each other, right?
There you go.
They probably do. That's what's so crazy about it. Oh, man. Before we get to Wild and Wacky, just scrolling through Twitter as I want to do. Stetson Bennett was the lowest graded rookie quarterback in the NFL preseason. An overall mark of 29.5 by PFF, who had at least 19 dropbacks. The next was P.J. Walker of a grade of 41.2 and was cut by the Bears. This really feels like a we need to make this work situation. But
well, maybe Stetson Bennett is the one person in the locker room that Matt Stafford can relate to.
Well, yeah, I mean,
maybe he's the anger translator for Matthew Stafford.
Well, you know how they have you have leaders who in the clubhouse or whatever. Maybe he's the translator.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Mm-hmm. He's the translator to the young folks.
What he meant to say was,
yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. Man, I didn't think that Stetson Bennett would be a good professional quarterback.
I didn't think he would be a professional quarterback, good or otherwise. And well, I don't know how much it has to do with his talent or lack of. I just thought his measurables. I really thought his measurables would keep him from having an opportunity.
He's just too small. But the Rams drafted him. As you know.
Not signed him as a UDFA.
Right. And I think that makes a difference in this situation. I mean, the Patriots don't have a quarterback on their roster outside of Mac Jones.
So what's crazier, not having a quarterback on your roster besides your starter, or not having a kicker on your roster at all?
Well, at least we got a kicker and a backup. Cade York decided to sign with the Titans.
Is he on the
practice squad over returning to Cleveland after they traded for a kicker? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be on a practice squad somewhere, Nashville, Cleveland.
Well, and if you're going to be on a practice squad as a kicker.
Yeah, there's no question where I want to be.
Because if you're on the Titans practice squad as a kicker, at some point you're going to be on the active
That's probably
roster
true.
as a kicker.
Yeah, I mean, Nick
If
Folk.
if you can just be patient, just hang in there.
Now,
Your time is coming.
But here's the thing. Nick Folk was very good. The only reason Nick Folk is not still in New England is
because they drafted a kid.
Well, the only reason they drafted is because he doesn't kick the ball into the end zone on kickoffs.
Yeah,
but you know what?
But once they drafted a kid, though, you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why they drafted someone, because it's not like Nick Folk wasn't making kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was 32 of 37 on field goals last year, including 4 of 5 from 50 plus. He was 89.3% with a long of 54 since 2019. He's 12 of 17 from 50 plus, 36 of 44 from 40 plus, and 58 of 58 under 40, 91.3% on extra points. But his touchback rate is only 12.2%. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't kick it into the end zone, but and this is part of this is where the Titans have to be really good. But the average starting position for Patriots opponents was the 28-yard line. I will 100% give up 3 yards on kickoffs for an automatic 3 points when I need to go get them.
That, if you're the Patriots, sounds like, stepping over quarters and picking up dimes. I mean, and I guess it's just, what do you value? Maybe you felt like that extra 3 yards was costing you more than the guaranteed 3 points.
Well,
and I mean, it's the Patriots. I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, you know that Bill Belichick had some sort of rationale in mind when they make that decision. But your point is terribly valid, sounds like.
I mean, safety. Perhaps he doesn't feel confident in his special teams coordinator to put the coverage together this year. I don't know. But the Titans have got to be good. The Titans have to be good on kick coverage.
Yeah, you got to cover.
You
got to cover, because he's not going to bail you out by kicking it into the end zone.
Exactly. So you now have to make sure that you spend time practicing this. You've got to make sure that guys understand their roles. And I think.
And guys have to be disciplined.
Guys have to be disciplined. Stay in your lane. Make sure not to over pursue.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a lot. But if you can do that,
it's going to pay off.
The field goal will pay off. The field goals will pay off. And I think that's important.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. So let's give you there we go again. The weirdest and wildest news from across the world after we take a quick break here. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll come back to the Lee Company studio with the weirdest and wildest news from across the world right after this.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. She's on Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions, and Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang. It is, in fact, Alyssa Lang.
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to lower the bar for guests now.
Oh, no.
Apologies in advance. It sounds like
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
got that radio voice.
I do.
going.
It's a good sounding
Yes,
commission.
for radio too. As do we.
And then here's the other thing. You guys, you're spot on with the name. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. So,
and we reach every main street in Middle Tennessee, Coach.
yeah, that's it. So
Perfect.
when you are on Main Street and you are moving,
you gotta love it.
Like you're moving. I was impressed.
I'm glad someone.
Hey, welcome back in Main Street Sports today. Before we get into Wild and Wacky Mo, couple of things. Number one, you just saw Alyssa Lang. She's got a new co-host on Out of Pocket.
Oh,
Takeo
yeah.
Spikes will join Alyssa Lang on Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang.
And Nick, I'm sorry, Roman Harper.
Roman
got
Harper
a-
and Cole Kublik will have a show together, which will be very fun. You're talking about an Auburn offensive lineman, an Alabama defensive back. That's going to be fun. That's going to be must-see television on the SEC Network. So make sure that you are looking for that. It's good. Great programming there. Well done by SEC Network.
Yeah, they do a good job.
And so also tonight's Nashville Sounds Durham Bulls game has been postponed due to inclement weather. It will be a twin bill tomorrow with game 1 at 5:30. Game 2 will follow 30 minutes after game 1.
Those will both be 7
Both of
innings.
those games will be 7 innings. I just wanted to get
Speaking
that.
of minor league baseball, just a second, we mentioned Kyle Wright will be making the start for the Sharpers 1P over at Memphis tonight. Sounds like Vaughn Grissom had a monster game.
3-run homer last night. I don't know what
I
else.
don't think that's all he did.
But I saw the 3-run homer because
And
someone
it
said
was a bomb.
Yeah, someone said that, he forever kills AAA and hopefully he's able to equate that into major league success like he did in Boston last year in his debut. And if he can, if he can get that to translate long term for
You got to
Atlanta,
find a spot for him.
you're going to have to. Well, I mean, the good thing is left field should be open soon. I can't imagine that Kevin Pillar, Eddie Rosario, et cetera, and the list goes on, is going to be what you want to see every day for the Braves over the next couple of years, especially if you've got Vaughn hitting bombs in the lineup.
Mm-hmm. He had 5 RBIs last night.
He'll take that.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up a box real quick. I know we're waiting on, or we're getting ready for the weirdest, wildest.
5 RBIs is a good day. I'll take
2 for 3 with pair runs, 5 ribs. Again, the 3-run homer that you mentioned. So, yeah, not a bad day at the office. All with 2 outs, by the way. All 5 of those ribs.
He'll take it.
Absolutely. Okay.
So it's now time for the weirdest and wildest news from across the world. We go to Yazoo City, Mississippi, which is one of my Yazoo City is like 1A and 1B with Kosciuszko on favorite cities in Mississippi.
Jerry Flowers hometown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Home of the Ledbetters.
Myself.
With no I. Just Ledbetter. First college football game I ever seen, I played in it. I love it. Yazoo City, Mississippi, a group of hunters have captured the longest alligator ever to be recorded in the state, according to the Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Donald Woods, Will Thomas, Joey Clark, and Tanner White harvested 14 feet, 3 inches long, 802.5 pounds. 0.5. At this point, the 0.5 matters. After 802, the 0.5 matters, I think. It either does matter or it absolutely does not matter.
I think it absolutely does not.
Well, I mean, depending on what's the record. The 0.5 might matter. I don't know. But it's the longest one.
14 feet, 3 inches?
14 feet 3 inches long.
I'm not sure the 3 inches matters. I guess, again, it depends on the record. Do we know what the record is?
I do not know what the record is.
That's
but
unfortunate.
alligator hunting opened.
That's a lot of gator
opens,
by the way.
Opened last week. So alligator hunting opened last Friday. Opens on the last Friday of August every year and ends on September 4th. Here's the thing. Alligator hunting is already something I am never going to do. You will not catch me hunting no alligators. 2, if I run up on one that's 14 feet long
and 800 pounds,
I don't even, it could swallow you whole.
What do you want to do with a 14-foot long alligator? I mean, why?
What do you do? What you take it to Red Antler Processing in Yazoo City, and what do they do with it? Is my question.
Well, I mean, I guess I assume that by the time you take it to Red Antler Processing, it's dead, so they don't have a problem with it.
No, yeah, but how do you get it there? I guess. I mean, is that one of the things that you
throw it on a flatbed? I guess
they used a forklift to lift it to take the picture.
That's crazy.
A forklift, because that's the only way you can get 800 pounds up.
What did you have to shoot it initially?
I would guess. But how many times? I mean, think about how thick that skin's got to be.
Think about how pissed off he's gonna be
after the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Oh.
No, thank you. Hey, let's go over to Spain.
No alligators.
Buñol, Spain, where some 15,000 people, including tourists, today. This is what they did today. They celebrated the annual Tomatina. The Tomatina Street Battle, where no bullets were fired. No. They were not firing bullets. They were not rapping. No rap battles. No. They were hurling Tomatina. Tomatoes. That's correct. Workers on trucks tipped 120 tons of overripe tomatoes onto the main street of the town for participants to throw at each other. That's right. The street fight leaves both the street, its houses, and participants drenched in red pulp. And oh, by the way, you got to pay $13 to be involved.
I got to pay $13 to have tomatoes thrown at me.
But you get to throw tomatoes at other people too.
But I got to get them thrown at me.
Well, yeah, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a tomato. That's all I got. The town hoses down the area and revelers shower off within minutes of the hour-long noon battle finishing. So, you got to do it for an hour, but then you get a shower. Tomato battle for an hour, then I get a shower. That's how it works. So.
Is that something you'd want to do?
Nope, I'm not.
I've never been into, food fights and that kind of thing. Now, I mean, depending on who else is involved, I might.
Two things. I already need Tommy John surgery, so like throwing tomatoes for an hour, I can't even bowl 3 frames. I'm done. So I don't want to be involved anyway because I'm just going to get hit. I'm not going to get to hit anyone else.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
So there you go. The weirdest and wildest news from across the world. We've got a couple minutes left here. I want to tell you that tomorrow we will have Coach's Corner. We'll also pick the Main Street Preps 10 biggest games from across the Main Street Preps footprint. We will also have
visit
Grant
with
McCauley.
Grant McCauley of 92.9 The Game out of Atlanta as the Braves head into a pivotal 4-game series against the host Dodgers.
I hope it's not pivotal because we don't need the Braves to pivot.
It might be more pivotal after than.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be pivotal for the Dodgers.
We don't want the Braves to pivot. We want them to continue on the direction they are going. No pivoting involved. No Ross. We don't need Ross. We don't need Rachel. We don't need Joey, Chandler. None of them. No pivots. No nothing. Let's just go. It should be a good one though. It should be a lot of fun.
We don't want them doing a 360.
No, Jason Kidd, turn this team. We're going to turn this team around 360 degrees. Okay, Coach Kidd, you do it, buddy. So, it is going to be a fun show, and we'll also Friday will be very interesting because we get to pick college football.
Oh,
So
goodness gracious.
be on the lookout. We may start an ESPN group. We may not. Who knows? But
We'll be picking college football. We'll have Jeff Hem.
We'll have Jeff Hem.
Catching up with the Sounds after their doubleheader tomorrow. What else tomorrow? What else is Friday?
We're right now.
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, you've
check back on Friday.
Check back tomorrow at least. We do have another. I thought you had someone for Friday, but maybe you don't. I don't know. Look forward to it. We'll see you guys then.
No.